So the idea being that you get your Roaring Moons out, you get your Raging Bolt out, and then with multiple of them, you can of course use the Professor Sada's Vitality supporter card that lets you attach a basic energy to 2 different ancient Pokemon that you have out, and then draw 3 cards. And then you top that up with that Teal Mask Ogerpon EX that lets you, with that Teal Dance ability, attach Grass energy from your hand to it and draw a card. So that draws you more cards, it gets more energy onto the field, and you slam with Bellowing Thunder.
You do indeed, and one thing Raging Bolt is not keen on is single prize decks that can 2-hit KO or sometimes better. Now we see Squawkabilly going down. That is, of course, not an option for Alex. It is, however, an option to Gust and KO. Klawf, if poisoned, does do 190 damage. That will leave Squawkabilly, I believe, in range of being KO'd by it. Even with the 30 resistance, it actually works out perfectly.
Exactly enough, indeed.
It was exactly 160, so if I'm Alex, I'm thinking, yep, I'll cut down that burden a little bit.
Yeah. Now, I got to be honest, Ross, I have a little bit of extra insight here. So I was speaking to our fellow co-caster, Amy Wasley, who is also playing this deck, and mentioned to me that Alex is doing very, very well. This list was built to prey on Raging Bolt, so Alex is going to be very, very happy to be facing Raging Bolt right now.
Oh, yeah, and it seems like a very strong matchup for it. The fact that you're giving away 1 prize at a time, the fact that you can take out things like that, like that Teal Mask Ogerpon, and it just, you know, obviously Fezandipiti, which is weak to fighting, is also a 2-prize option to gust up and get a KO on. So Alex should be trading 1 prize for 2 for a lot of the game, and then trying to jump ahead by taking out those 2 prizes late. And I'm sorry, Unhinged Scissors makes me so happy. Stuttgart Regionals, people are like, oh, you know, Klawf had a good weekend, but come on, it's not going to happen again. Yeah, it's happening again.
Yeah, so here we go. Tobias, with a pretty decent turn 1 after that Squawkabilly, was able to find a Teal Mask Ogerpon, does do a Teal Dance there, finds that Sliverwing. This is a 1-prize attacking option that we do see a lot of these Raging Bolt decks going for, has a good typing, of course, and it's just a way of making that price rate a bit nicer. We do see a Pokemon Catcher. This could be very important. Oh, but it is a Tails. That would have been very nice to bring up. Of course, the Brute Bonnet would have prevented Alex from being able to attack quite as easily, but it is a Tails, unfortunately.
Yeah, Tobias there, not a great start. Did not only got 2 energy on the board, didn't get a KO on the Klawf, which would have been great for starting that prize race. Alex here doesn't really need very much. You need an Ancient Boost Energy Capsule to put onto the Brute Bonnet to activate the ability that poisons both active Pokemon, and then you need yourself a double turbo on Klawf. Now, ideally here, you go for a Binding Mochi for a bit of extra damage, Radiant Hisuian Sneasler to increase the poison damage, but all you need, Ancient Booster Energy Capsule and a double turbo.
Yeah. Although, if you have the Binding Mochi, that's actually really important, because that would get you then to the exact amount they need for a knockout, because it would be 190 plus the 10 from Poison plus the extra 40 from it. That's an exact knockout on a Raging Bolt.
That is an exact knockout on a Raging Bolt. So that's what we mean. And you're not always trading 1 for 2 here. You are sometimes trading 1 for 1, but you get 2 prizes. Your opponent only gets 1. That is a bit of a wombo combo, but it will absolutely work sometimes. And I like Alex here if you're just 2-hit killing Raging Bolt. And then occasionally gusting a 2-prizer on the bench. If you can get everything and get a 1-hit KO on Raging Bolt,
yeah, then you are very much good to go. Now, unfortunately for Alex, it looks like he was stuck with a little bit of a spot of bother, was forced to bench that Lumineon V. That is a 2-prizer that Tobias can prey on, but of course, if you need to use it to get a supporter to attack with, then you gotta do what you gotta do. And with this, oh, hold on a second, can Tobias, or rather, can Alex put it all together? We have the Town Store.
Well, the Town Store's going to go and get the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. So right now, we are talking about 200 damage, 190 plus the 10 for poison. We will need the Binding Mochi onto the Klawf here. Although, no, but of course, no, you haven't got it yet.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, the Radiant Sneasler, it does boost, of course, the damage between turns by 2, but that's not quite enough.
No, Radiant Hisuian Sneasler will put up to 220. Does actually mean Tobias has to get out the active or will be KO'd during Pokemon checkup.
Oh, that's true, actually, yeah. So
I do feel quite confident that's something Tobias is going to do. But right now, we got 220 damage coming down. Turn 2 for this Klawf deck. And, yeah, Raging Bolt not happy.
Wait, no, it won't quite be enough, because it'll be 190 going to 210 and then to 230, so it'll still be 10 short, actually.
Oh, I was thinking 20 plus.
Yeah, no, but it's good. The 1 turns into 2. So, yeah, so it's actually only 10 extra poison per turn. So, yeah, it won't be quite enough. So, if Tobias wants to attack with his Raging Bolt in the active, it is okay. But
No, it is 2 extra. No, I was right. It is 2 extra.
Oh, it's 2 more. Oh,
yeah,
so you can put 3.
Yes.
Okay, so then, then never mind me.
190 plus the 30 for poison is 220.
No, so I thought Radiant Sneasler was 2 instead of 1, not 2 more.
Oh, it's 2 more. And that's
okay.
wonderful. Is to. Oh no, you've got to retreat here.
Yeah, you have to. Like, oh no,
I think Tobias might. Oh, we see the KO from Tobias, and you know what that means?
Between
poison
turns.
kicks in, Pokemon checkup happens.
I think Tobias does he not realize?
I think the judge, look in the player cam, judge is now informing Tobias that will be a KO.
Yeah, because it's 3 extra. Yeah, it's 2 more between turns. So yeah, then
that should be a KO.
Yeah, 190, then another 30, and another 30.
220. This puts up to 250.
Why is it's? Can that Raging Bolt go to the discard pile? Are we missing something?
There's 230 damage on it at the moment. It's got 10 HP remaining.
Because it's so... Okay, let's make sure we get it right here. So Klawf is... Oh, wait, no. With the double turbo, Klawf does 170, right?
Oh, Klawf does 170 with a double turbo. I always forget the double turbo, Freya. Silly of me. Okay.
Yeah, so
now
this is
Tobias
correct.
has to get out the active to avoid being KO'd. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. That took me a little bit longer than it should have done. Yeah. Got too excited about Klawf.
I heard 190 for you, but then I thought... So when you said that, I thought you were factoring the double turbo.
I was not.
No. You're the Klawf expert, Ross. Come on, man.
I got too excited about Klawf, Freya, all right?
All right. Anyway, but enough about that. Let's get back to the game here. So this actually works out well for Tobias because although, yeah, sure, you will get KO'd between turns, it's something that Alex would be able to do the damage to take the knockout anyway. So it does mean that Alex can pass for a knockout, which is, I guess, could be kind of nice. But it also means that there isn't that worst-case scenario where you get KO'd by poison going into your opponent's turn. That's when you're really hurting.
Yeah, that's what you don't like. And also the passing for KO here I absolutely love because, of course, Klawf relies on that double turbo energy. And you only play 4 of them in the deck. So anytime you can not have to use another one, that is a huge advantage. So Professor's research comes down here, gets a new hand of 7 cards for Alex. And right now, in a very strong position, about to go up by a prize. So this is going to work rather nicely indeed.
So Rescue Board going onto the Radiant Hisuian Sneasler. I guess it's something that ideally you would like to keep. It's not really something that you want going down anytime soon. You want that extra poison damage to come in. So it looks like, a second Brute Bonnet going down. Maybe you just retreat into a Brute Bonnet and pass. That seems fine as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There is also, there's a Spiritomb in the deck that you could use in this situation to just pop in the active. But I like using Brute Bonnet because it at least gives you some value if it's sitting there on the board as well. So I like this. Retreat into Brute Bonnet. And then if Tobias KOs it, they get a prize, but they don't get too much.
Yeah.
So I like this.
If Alex wants to, he could announce the ability and then have it not do anything because the Ancient Boost Energy Capsule prevents poison or any special conditions on the Pokemon it's attached to, and the Raging Bolt is already poisoned.
Yeah, we do get the KO on the Raging Bolt there from Poison. Pass for a KO always feels good. And if you're Tobias here, you're not in a great situation because you need to keep refreshing and you need to keep resetting and getting the energy down and discarding 2 every turn. And you're only taking 1 prize for doing so. You know, even Brute Bonnet here has got 120 HP, so you need to discard 2 energy to get the KO. It is frankly not ideal.
No, it really isn't. And this is exactly why these Raging Bolt decks do tend to play a single prize option of some kind. So Sliverwing is a great option here because it ties in nicely with the energy types that you play, and it's got good type coverage. So I guess that could come in now for Tobias if he wants to try and get a KO with something that won't give up 2 prizes in return. But it will be a matter of whether he decides to go for that or not. It does make use of the Town Store that Alex Norvey put down, though, to search out that Bravery Charm.
Yeah, Bravery Charm could be quite big here for putting Pokemon really out of reach. And that kind of helps. Now, obviously, you can attack with your Teal Mask Ogerpon here. You can set up a Sliverwing, 2 fighting energy, 120. That would be enough to KO the Brute Bonnet here, which has 120 HP. But it looks like, for the moment, just setting up those 2 prize EX Pokemon and considering what to do with the Bravery Charm. Popping it onto the Fezandipiti here, which still won't save it from a Klawf because of weakness.
Yeah. And the problem with trying to attack with Teal Mask Ogerpon is that unlike the Regidrago V-Star deck, you don't really play Energy Switch in here, so it's very hard to actually get it powered up and attacking. You'd have to do a manual attachment plus the Teal Dance with the energy already on there. And it looks like, unfortunately, it was actually a miss for Tobias. Would have really liked to get that third grass energy on, would have been able to get the knockout on the Brute Bonnet, because, of course, it does have weakness to grass, but not able to pull it off.
No, and that's the thing. Like, you're a prize down against a single prize deck, and then you go and miss a KO as well. Shall we say, less than ideal, Freya. So Alex here is just loving this game right now. This is pretty much a best-case scenario. You gave up a prize, but it was one, you know, it was early in the game, you didn't really mind. You've taken the first 2 prize KO, and then it's back to you with a 210 HP Pokemon in the active with Binding Mochi.
It's a knockout.
It is a knockout. Now it's 170 because of the double turbo. Nailed it.
Yep.
Binding Mochi adds 40, puts it up to 210. And then you've obviously got the poison coming in as well, which is an extra 30, which is honestly irrelevant at this point. It's going to go up to 240. That's going to help.
Yeah, that is. And that maths to getting to 240 is exactly how this deck plays so easily on Raging Bolt, because you can get the knockout on the huge 240 HP on a basic EX is massive. I think it's the biggest basic EX HP number we have right now, isn't it? I'm fairly sure.
In the game right now, probably.
Yeah, currently. There are previous, in the current standard format rotation at least. But
let's wait until a Wailord gets printed.
Yeah, but that'll be a stage 1.
Touche.
Yeah. But yeah, unlike previous EXs, which were basics, the current EXs, they're all actually their evolved forms. So yes, there's the Klawf KO there coming in. So back to Tobias now as he puts up another Raging Bolt. But again, it's like you were saying right at the beginning, Ross, it is so hard for Tobias to actually make progress here, because sure, there are 2 prizes that you can KO on the bench, but it means you need a Gusting card every single time. And Alex can very easily just clap back with the Klawf and take the KO again anyway.
Yeah, well, you can't go after a 2-prize knockout here. Klawf's hitting 240.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So you literally cannot gust up a bench 2-prize Pokemon.
Then you just lose,
Yeah, because Alex has already got a Pokemon that can KO you right back. Yeah. Now, you could if you played, say, a Bravery Charm, but even then you lose to Gusting with the Klawf, so you kind of have to take out the Klawf because that's the threat. But then, even if you KO the Klawf, you're still down by 2 prizes.
Yeah, so I guess then the option here for Tobias is just to, do... If he wants to go for a 2-prizer, you need the Bravery Charm, because then you can sort of almost take that risk, and it does force Alex to have a boss's orders or something like that. But failing that, yeah, you have to KO the Klawf. And this is where single prize decks shine at their greatest, when they can use 2-prize support Pokemon, because their single prizes are so threatening that your opponent can't really go for them, because they have to knock out your attacking threat to not lose.
Yeah, it's always fun when you're like, go on, KO my 2-prize Pokemon on the bench. Genuinely, I would much rather you did that. Yep. That would be great for me on a personal level. So we have got a Professor Sada coming out here from the Pokegear. That's going to give Tobias enough energy with which to mount an attack, which is obviously your kind of, that's where you want to start with. But my issue here is you KO the Klawf, and then you're basically saying to Alex, please don't get another Klawf. And also, you've got a couple of turns to pull it off, because I still need 2-prize KOs after I take down this Klawf. So it'll give Alex 1 turn at least to try and reset. And that's what you're hoping for here.
Yeah.
KO the Klawf, Alex whiffs, and then you get a 2-prize KO next turn to actually, and then Alex whiffs again, and then you get another 2-prize KO. It's a lot to ask for, Freya.
Yeah, it really, really is. And, I mean, so... Sliverwing can actually KO a Klawf. The second attack there, Burning Turbo, it does 120 damage. You don't need any modifiers or any other shenanigans to get the KO on it, with Klawf having 120 HP. There's a Pokemon catcher, though. There's a Heads. Okay.
We're going for the Fezandipiti here, so going after that 2-prizer. Are we going to get a...
I mean, there is a Bravery Charm in hand. We know that much. You just search off the Town Store. So, yeah, you have to attach it, right?
Not if you attack with a Sliverwing.
No, that's true, yes.
If Sliverwing attacks here, you will get a KO on the Fezandipiti.
Oh, because the fighting weakness, of course.
The fighting weakness. Yes. And then that will then leave you with a single-prize Pokemon in the active, so Alex would need some kind of Gusting to win the game the following turn.
Yeah, so this is definitely what Tobias is going to be going for. It's pretty much the ideal turn. You're trying to deny Alex as many outs as possible to taking these last 2 prizes. So yeah,
here we go with the energy.
Yeah, energy from the Night Stretcher gets attached to the Sliverwing, so now you can retreat, or just Switch Cart, so you can preserve the energy, even better.
Switch Cart works nicely in a deck which is greedy for energy, and this is what you're going for here. You still need 2 turns. Alex has 2 turns to take the final KO. You are not winning next turn. Now, we do see the Bravery Charm onto Sliverwing, which, honestly, I don't think it really matters, because it puts it up to 170, which is what Klawf hits naturally.
Yeah, it's a good point. And also, of course, with that burning...
Oh, no, what puts up to 190, but still the poison would get you over, so...
Yeah, and also, of course, with that burning turbulence attack, you do 90 damage to yourself as well.
Oh, there's the boss's orders!
Oh, no, mine!
Fezandipiti. Klawf was not KO'd, and I told you, Freya, you had to go after the Klawf. You didn't go after the Klawf, so Klawf now will KO the Fezandipiti. Alex wins game 1, and we're headed to game 2.
Yes, so fearsome demonstration there of the power of Klawf, and exactly why Alex made this call to play it during this tournament, knowing that Raging Bolt would be very popular, knowing that it just won and it would still have a big showing. Really a superb meta call from Alex.
Yeah, that was very nice. I think we need to see a little bit of a replay of